Eurobox presents A Scarred Heart, written by R.M. Gray. A Scarred Heart is a haunting, emotionally charged novel that explores the quiet fractures beneath ordinary lives and what happens when those fractures begin to widen. Set against the atmospheric backdrop of northern suburbia and rural communities, this story opens with a chilling local legend about the Bear Pit, a place steeped in violence and whispered superstition. The author today is our special guest to present us the book. So let's welcome Rachel. Hi, Rachel. Thank you for accepting our invitation.
Thank you for speaking with me today.
So let's see. This novel, A Scarred Heart, opens with the haunting legend of the Bear Pit, as we said. What drew you to begin the story with this folklore, and how does that image reflect the emotional themes of the novel?
Yeah. The Bear Pit ultimately was one of my childhood nightmares, as it were, in that I remember visiting a bear pit in Sheffield in the north of England when I was very, very small, and this kind of very frightening, haunting environment really stuck with me. So first of all, I thought, what would be a better place for a thriller to be set? The Scarred Heart, is actually one of the first of a series of books, and each one of them is going to have a geographical location from the north of England that really struck with me as a child. So it's going to feature those places that I felt had really heightened drama within them, and so were just perfect for the kind of the genre that I'm working within.
Wonderful. Let's talk about Jill. Jill is a character who cares deeply, sometimes to her own detriment, I say. What inspired you to explore this idea of that caring too much can become both a strength and a flaw?
I think ultimately that's an awful lot to do with kind of the role of being a woman in today's modern society. Particularly some of my own life experiences have shaped that kind of push and pull of being a modern woman and our responsibilities and ultimately our kind of innate nature to want to protect and to care for others. Jill, like myself, was a teacher in secondary schools for many, many years, dealing with all sorts of kind of crazy teenagers. And that has taken an awful lot of wear and tear on her and her life plan and her family. But she loves it. And it is that kind of idea of how you cope with and how you are successful at the same time with dealing with the constraints and the pulls of a career that you love and a part of your personality that you think is actually a strength, while recognizing that it's kind of very difficult to be everything to all people at the same time.
Another theme that the readers finds in this book, which is really interesting, is how quickly speculation spreads in online spaces. How important was it for you to examine this impact of digital gossip?
Well, as I say, I've been working with teenagers. I'm kind of always feel that I was a bit sort of behind the mark and that they knew an awful lot more than I did about the world of social media. And particularly, I've got 2 teenage children, and it terrifies me how this different world has been created where there's rumours and gossip and salacious information that's passed from person to person within the blink of an eye. It's dangerous territory and something that we all have access to, which is a really interesting idea that this is something that everyone can be affected by, involved in, and should probably be in a bit of fear of, particularly with AI becoming so prevalent as well.
Yeah. We know that this book is the first in your planned series. Shadows of the Dales is the title. Without giving too much away, what can readers expect from the wider series, and how does A Scarred Heart lay the foundation for what's to come?
Yeah, so I purposely made A Scarred Heart as an introduction to this series. I wanted it to be kind of a hello from the characters who are going to form the central part of all of the books that are going to follow. As I mentioned earlier, there will be a kind of geographical nod to Yorkshire and the north of England throughout each one, but predominantly we'll be following the character of Jill as she progresses, and also Sally, whose sister the first story, A Scarred Heart, follows. So we will get these repeat characters, in fact, a community of characters, and we'll get their storylines unravelling as we travel around the north of England. So definite themes and recurrent ideas and places within them.
Well, Rachel, thank you. Thank you very much for your time, for this interview, and we wish you best luck with your book.
Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Compelling, unsettling, and beautifully observed. A Scarred Heart is perfect for readers who enjoy psychological suspense grounded in real human relationships, where the most frightening things are not monsters, but the shadows cast by ordinary people. A Scarred Heart by R.M. Gray is now available in bookstores and digital platforms, and it's a publication by Eurobox.